What are you doing here, Melinda? Could you actually afford this place? Excuse me? I mean, I know how much you make, Stop playing. You got a voucher, didn't you? Please, Julia. I'd appreciate if you could be more respectful. I'm with my parents now. Oh, hi. Nice to meet you. You must be really proud of Melinda. She's doing very well for people of her upbringing. Mom, Dad, you should go. I'll deal with this. Aw, don't go. Well, you ruined all the fun, Melinda. If you weren't so stiff, I would have invited you to come with us to this business lunch. What are you talking about? I am seeing this resort's owner today. If we could close this deal, it's going to be our biggest partner this year. Julia, this is my job too. I'm your assistant. I should also be at the meeting. Oh, but you're too busy in this stupid vacation of yours, aren't you? Quit whining. Excuse me? That's really inappropriate. We are not at work, are we? You're just one petty peasant who can't even afford a larger suit. I'm so sorry. Could you please? No, I could not. What are you going to do about it? Sorry, Listen up. I don't have time to waste with you people. You would better behave when you see me in the office, Melinda. You should know who to stick up for from now on, right? My name is Melinda, and I am in my early 30s. I was thrilled when I received a promotion at work. I had been working as a social media marketer for years, and it was great to see my hard work pay off. I loved my job because it gave me the creative freedom to come up with new ideas and strategies to help my clients succeed. With my new promotion came a raise and the opportunity to take my parents on a much-needed vacation. They had always been there for me, supporting me through the ups and downs of life. And I wanted to show my appreciation by treating them to a luxurious getaway. My only obstacle was my new boss, Julia. I had heard rumors about her from my colleagues. She was strict, mean, and had a reputation for being difficult to work with. As soon as I got the promotion, I was moved to her department and began working directly under her. From the moment I met Julia, I knew that the rumors were true. She was ridiculously stern, sharp with words, and had a no-nonsense approach to everything. She would often criticize my work, nitpicking every little detail, and never missed an opportunity to remind me of her high standards. I found myself struggling to keep up with her demands and felt like I was constantly under scrutiny. My creative freedom was limited, and I felt like I was suffocating under her constant supervision. I missed the days when I could come up with new ideas without fear of rejection or criticism. Despite her harsh demeanor, I tried my best to stay positive and focused on my work. I reminded myself that I loved my job and that I had worked hard to get where I was. I kept pushing forward, hoping that things would eventually get better. Plus, I knew I needed to somehow win her over, so I could ask for my time off during the summer for that dream vacation with my parents. One day, to my surprise, our department welcomed a new part-time intern. Her name was Kylie, and she was the most adorable girl I had ever met. She had a bubbly personality and a contagious smile that could light up any room. We hit it off right away, and I was thrilled to have a new friend in the office. Unfortunately, Julia did not share my enthusiasm for Kylie. From the moment she arrived, Julia seemed to have it out for her. She would criticize her work, belittle her in front of the team, and make snide remarks about her appearance. I couldn't understand why Julia was so harsh towards Kylie, who was doing her best to learn and contribute to the team. To make things easier for Kylie, I tried to help her whenever I could, teaching her things about her position and preparing her for Julia's questions. Despite my efforts, things took a turn for the worse during a meeting when she made a small mistake with her presentation. Julia immediately snapped at her, criticizing her in front of the entire team. I could see the hurt and embarrassment on Kylie's face, and before I knew it, she broke down in tears. I was furious with Julia for her unprofessional behavior and the way she had treated Kylie. I knew that something had to be done to address the situation. After the meeting, I pulled Julia aside and explained to her that her behavior toward Kylie was unacceptable. I reminded her that everyone makes mistakes and that it would be so much more helpful to us if she would provide constructive feedback and support. To my surprise, Julia snapped back at me and asked me to never disrespect her again. Her response was unexpected and concerning, as it really proved to me how irresponsible and unwilling Julia is to receive feedback. But things didn't end there. The next day, I was shocked when Julia told everyone that Kylie had quit. Julia even went as far as calling Kylie stupid and slutty, which to me was completely unprofessional and unacceptable. She made me feel really uneasy about the work environment she had created. That evening, I decided to reach out to Kylie to see how she was doing. I was relieved to hear that she was all good and that she had actually found a better job offer in a different city, so she ended her internship earlier than anticipated. I told her how happy I was for her and how I thought Julia's actions and words were unacceptable. Kylie was such an angel. She thanked me for my kindness by sending me a voucher for the resort she was working at. I was touched by her gesture and grateful that I was able to help in some way. Plus, I was glad that I didn't have to look any further for the perfect spot to take my parents to. It seemed like Kylie really got into a nice resort because even with the voucher, their prices were still quite high. When the summer finally arrived, I was thrilled to take the much-needed paid leave I had been looking forward to. However, Julia made it clear that she was not happy about my absence and gave me a lot of work to do before I left. She even made me feel guilty about taking the leave, which was disappointing and frustrating. Of course, I didn't let her negative attitude ruin my plans. I took my parents to the resort that Kylie had given me the voucher for, and it was an incredible experience from the very start. As soon as we arrived, we were greeted by lush greenery and the sweet fragrance of flowers in the air. The resort was nestled in a picturesque location surrounded by tall trees and a serene lake that sparkled in the sunlight. The lobby was grand and welcoming, with high ceilings, marble floors, and elegant chandeliers hanging from the ceiling. The staff was also really polite and accommodating. Even with the voucher, I could only afford the cheapest suite there, but it was already more high-end than most other hotel rooms in town. My parents and I had a lot of fun, and I was glad I could finally spend some quality time with them. We spent most of our evenings sitting outside, sipping on cocktails and watching the sunset. We also indulged in resort spa services, which were top-notch and left us feeling relaxed and renovated. The resort had several restaurants, each offering a unique culinary experience. We tried everything from seafood to steak, and each dish was prepared to perfection. During my time away, I also made sure to disconnect from work and focus on relaxing and enjoying myself. It was a much-needed break from the stress and pressure of the job. It was the perfect way to recharge and spend quality time with the people who mattered the most to me. Just when I thought everything was happening the way I had planned, something terrible occurred. On the last day of our vacation, as I was checking out of the suite, I saw someone familiar. As luck would have it, I bumped into Julia at the reception. Her face twisted into a scowl when she saw me, and she couldn't seem to hide her disdain. It was clear that she was not pleased to see me, and I felt a knot form in my stomach. "What are you doing here, Melinda? Could you actually afford this place?" "Excuse me?" "I mean, I know how much you make, Stop playing. You got a voucher, didn't you?" "Please, Julia. I would appreciate it if you could be more respectful. I'm with my parents now." "Oh, hi. Nice to meet you. You must be really proud of Melinda. She is doing very well for people of her upbringing." "Mom, Dad, you should go. I'll deal with this." Luckily, I had already told my parents about how unreasonable Julia could be, so they were not surprised or offended. They gave me a reassuring look before walking away. Julia seemed taken aback that she was being ignored, so she made it even clearer to me how much she looked down on us. "Well, you ruined all the fun, Melinda. If you weren't so stiff, I would have invited you to come with us to this business lunch." What are you talking about?" "I am seeing this resort's owner today. If we could close this deal, it's going to be our biggest partner this year." As she came closer to me, I could smell the alcohol in her breath. I didn't expect her to drink before the meeting, but I guess she was just so arrogant about the triumph of a business deal. I was furious. Being tipsy definitely does not excuse her from treating me like that. "Julia, this is my job too. I'm your assistant. I should also be at the meeting." "Oh, but you're too busy on this stupid vacation of yours, aren't you? Quit whining." "Excuse me, that's really inappropriate." "We're not at work, are we? You're just one petty peasant who can't even afford a larger suite." "I'm sorry, could you please—" "No, I could not. What are you going to do about it?" Sorry, I just—" "Listen up. I don't have time to waste with you people. You would better behave when you see me in the office, Melinda. You should know who to stick up for from now on, right?" Just when things were getting heated, I heard a familiar voice from behind me. "Melinda, I am so happy you made it here." When I turned around, I was surprised to see Kylie walking towards us, accompanied by the owner of the resort. I didn't really understand the situation until she started to speak again. "Julia? My dad is partnering up with you?" "Your dad?" It turned out that Kylie was the daughter of the owner, and she had been enjoying her own vacation in one of the other suites. As soon as Julia saw Kylie, her demeanor changed completely. She immediately straightened up and put on her best professional smile, but it was clear that she was a little intimidated by Kylie's presence. I mean, Julia had been so mean to her just a few months ago. I bet Julia didn't see that coming. Kylie walked over to us and asked if everything was all right. "Oh, of course, everything's okay. Kylie, I didn't know that your father owns this resort." "He does. I was set to inherit the place as soon as I'm ready, but it seems like I'm not going to be anytime soon." "What do you mean?" "Well, it seems to me like I haven't figured out how to deal with people like you." "Excuse me?" "All right, I'll give you some space, all right? Julia, you can work directly with my daughter, and nice to meet you, Melinda. I've heard a lot about you." "It's my pleasure, sir." Then Kylie's father walked away, leaving the three of us with the most awkward conversation. Look, I know I haven't been the easiest person to work with lately, but I really need your help. Your dad is the only one who can sign off on this deal, and I'm afraid if he doesn't, I'm going to lose my job. Oh, are you? Julia, your behavior towards me, Melinda, and others was unacceptable. I can't just overlook that. I know, and I'm sorry. I have been under a lot of stress and let it get the best of me, but I promise I will do better from now on, and I'll make it up to everyone I have wronged. Julia, that was not what you told me when I had a private conversation with you. Would you shut up, Melinda? I'm trying to work here. Julia, are you even listening to yourself? You are such a two-faced, unreliable person. Wait, that's not what I meant. You just had a few drinks, and now you can't keep up with the facade anymore? What? I didn't... Wow, Julia. I'll speak to your boss about how unprofessional you have been in this meeting. Goodbye, Julia. Wait, I'm sorry. Come back. When Julia realized she has lost herself a huge business deal, it was too late. I walked into Kylie's meeting room with her dad, and they invited my parents in too. We had a lovely discussion away from the rude and terrible person that Julia was. A few days later, I received a call from the CEO's assistant. She told me that Kylie had made a complaint against Julia to the board of directors. To make matters worse, the receptionist at that resort had posted a video of Julia belittling me online, and it had gone viral. The video caused a huge uproar, and it affected the image of our company. I was surprised, but it all came together pretty quickly. Kylie seemed to know very well that my company wouldn't fire Julia if it was just for the complaint. But if the public had a say, everything would be different. It's very likely that Kylie was behind that released camera footage after all. Julia was immediately fired for her actions, but the damage had already been done. We had to do something to repair our reputation and salvage the deal with Kylie's father. And that's when the CEO turned to me. I was put to be in charge of the deal with Kylie's father. It was a huge responsibility, but I was determined to make it work. I spent the next few days preparing for the meeting with Kylie's father. I went over every detail, making sure that everything was perfect. And when the day finally came, I was ready. The meeting went better than I could have ever imagined. Kylie's father was impressed with our company's professionalism and dedication, and in the end he agreed to sign the deal. And so, as soon as the deal was closed, I got another promotion at work. It was amazing now that I got my own office and had people working for me. I made sure to treat them nicely and give support whenever it was needed. I was determined to never let something like the incident with Julia happen again. With the business deal came my friendship with Kylie. We have become even closer friends, as she was able to share with me so many of her hopes and dreams. It turned out that the reason why she wanted to work for my company in the first place was that she just wanted to experience the real world despite coming from a very wealthy family. Kylie had always been passionate about helping others, and she had a special place in her heart for seniors and parents who wanted to spend their retirement in comfort. She had been working really hard to make good service more affordable, and with my help, she would probably make that dream a reality soon. I am so excited for what's to come ahead of us.